Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Neptune's Child Tarot. Thank you guys all so much for being here. Your continued love and support here on the channel. Today's pick your card reading, we are doing what is your biggest obstacle right now? And then we're going to be asking Spirit, how can you overcome whatever that obstacle might be for you? So we do have three piles for you guys to choose from today. If you do feel drawn to more than one, that is perfectly okay for today's reading. Go with whatever your intuition is drawing you into the most. But please do keep in mind that this is a general reading. Not all the messages that come through may really fit for you. So feel free to take what resonates and let go of whatever is not really fitting for your specific situation. I am available for private readings for those of you that are wanting to look a little bit more into your personal energy. You can find my email down below in the description box. I also wanted to say a huge thank you to Diana for donating the tarot landscapes, and then to Elizabeth for donating the Sacred Creators Oracle. We are going to be using both of these decks for our reading today. For those of you that are wanting to donate a deck as well, I do have my Amazon wish list in the description box. And as always, thank you guys all so much for your support. So group one, you are going to be the Smokey Quartz. So Smokey Quartz for group one. For group two, we have a Zebra Calcite. So Zebra Calcite for group two. And group three, we do have a Flower Agate. So Flower Agate for group number three. So pause the video if you do need a little bit more time. Again, we're asking Spirit today, what is your biggest obstacle right now and how can you overcome it? Timestamps will be down below and I will see you guys at your reading. Hello, group one. So those of you that resonated with the Smokey Quartz, this is going to be your reading today. So we're finding out what is your biggest obstacle right now and how can you overcome it. So we're going to put your oracle cards at the bottom. So let's see what your tarot has. We have the 10 of Cups, the 2 of Pentacles, the 3 of Pentacles, the Moon, the 9 of Swords, and we have the King of Pentacles. And let's put your oracle. We have Full of Riches with Citrine. We have Snake Spirit. It says time to heal, number 55. We have Is This Mine with green fluorite. Card number 21, Dove Spirit, and it says Be Peace. And we have Fundamentals of Humanness with Salt. Okay. So I think we are going to clarify just a little bit. Again, our question is, what is your biggest obstacle right now? And I'm seeing we have both the Nine of Swords here and also the Moon. Now, the Nine of Swords is about anxiety, overthinking, overanalyzing. And sometimes this can be an energy that creates a lot of intrusive thoughts or a lot of ruminating, a lot of feeling stuck, unable to focus, unable to think clearly. And this may even be something that kind of disturbs your sleep. Okay. We do also have the moon energy here. Now, the moon is about the intuition, but the moon card is more or less about the shadow energy that comes along with that. And that can be something that creates a lot of irrational fears, insecurities, a lot of the fear of the unknown, confusion, uncertainty. There could be something that you're not seeing, and or even not knowing perhaps about something in the future. Perhaps there is some type of, it kind of feels like there's a choice here or a decision. For some of you, this might be around a partnership. And for others of you, I'm seeing that this is surrounding job, career, finances, something of that nature. And the moon energy is a reflection of our subconscious. And within the subconscious, there can be certain feelings, emotions, thoughts, ideas, belief systems that kind of run in the background. And I like to think of them kind of like as programs that are running in the background and can certainly influence the way that we think, speak, act when we are conscious. Okay. And so it does feel like there's something, and this is where I kind of want to look a little bit deeper within that moon energy, because it kind of feels like there's something that is disturbing you, bothering you basically on a subconscious level. And it is creating this Nine of Swords energy, which is basically feeling like the mind is not at ease, the mind is not at peace or rest. And so the other cards that we have here with the Pentacles energy, Pentacles have to do with the physical world, the material world. So this is basically your earthly life here, the things that you're doing day to day. And then you also have the Ten of Cups here, which is about happiness, fulfillment, joy, contentment. And so it could even be something that is affecting your level of happiness each day. You do have the fundamentals of humanness here with salt, which this card basically talks about the foundations of our very being and what makes us human. And so salt being one of those things. And so to me, this more or less kind of looks at the building blocks of who you are as a person and what influences are there. You also have this card here that says, is this mine? And so looking at this card here, there's a bunch of birds, and it looks like there's a vine that almost looks like it's connected to each one of them. And also the birds, I look at this as kind of like the element of air. And so it does give me a lot of that Nine of Swords or even Eight of Swords type of energy. So it could even be if there is any type of influential energies that could be affecting you. When we say, is this mine? Perhaps there's something external to you. It's something that's happening in your environment, or even things that you may have suppressed, because the moon can talk about things that are hidden, feelings, emotions that we have suppressed or even repressed. And we may not even be realizing how those things are bothering us on a subconscious level. So this could also be a time for clearing. We have time to heal here with the snake, and I'm kind of seeing the number fives here about change. With the time to heal, I'm thinking of this as more or less the shedding of skin, the shedding of the old layers of self, the foundations that might be here. Now, that could be foundational beliefs. It could be certain ideas, thoughts, like I said, feelings, emotions, and really a need for you to ask yourself, what is it that you're holding on to? Are there certain opinions or belief systems or even things that you're holding on to from your past that it's time to release and let go of? Things that could be affecting your decision making or the actions that you take, the choices, because you also have the Two of Pentacles here, which the Two of Pentacles is about, can be about juggling things. It can be about getting priorities in order, trying to find balance, trying to make choices. And then you have the Three of Pentacles here, which is about building, collaborating. It's more or less the threes are about expansion and growth, which tie into the Empress energy. And then you have Full of Riches here, citrine. Citrine is a crystal that is used, that can be really good when you're attracting wealth and abundance and prosperity. And then you also have the King of Pentacles here, which is, the King of Pentacles is about being able to be at a place in your life where you've been disciplined, organized, committed, dedicated, have been able to take risks that are helping you to really build something that is going to be long lasting, long standing, something that is secure, something that is dependable for you. So like I said, some of you, this could be that it is talking about a commitment, a relationship, or it could even be your job, your career. The King of Pentacles shows that we have really mastered the suit of the Pentacles, which is being able to create wealth, abundance, security, stability within the material realm. And so with the Fool of Riches here, you know, you have the Ten of Cups. Again, joy, happiness, fulfillment, contentment. And then here in this card, there's two little animals that are kind of sitting side by side. I'm noticing that one of them, I know one of them's a cat. I can't tell if this is a dog or not. It might be another cat. But the difference between the two of them, one is the lighter color and one of them is a darker color, like white and black. It kind of reminds me of like the light and the shadow energy. And so is there something within the shadow that needs your attention here? Because there's something that's being focused on, like I said, maybe on a subconscious level. And it could be taken away from you enjoying the beauty of even other things that are kind of happening in your life. So doves are also a symbol of, with the white color especially, purification, peace, and I'm feeling this is more or less about peace of mind. This is also a number 21, which is the World card. The World is about the completion of a cycle, an ending. So it does kind of feel like there's a need for releasing here. Being full of riches. I almost kind of feel like Spirit's wanting you to take some time to be present as well. To focus on what you have here and now. Because there could be a choice here that also needs to be made. Things that you're also needing to release. So let's clarify a little bit more. I want to kind of see what's going on here with this. Some of you could be making a choice. I don't think this is everyone, but some of you could be making a choice with perhaps transitioning from a career that you may have put in a lot of time and energy into, years of hard work. And some of you might be toying with the idea of branching off into entrepreneurship. Okay. Some of you could be in a long-term relationship where you could be asking yourself, you know, is it possible for this person and you to heal your relationship or to help to stabilize it? Because some of you may have been going through some challenging energy here. So let's take a little look here. Okay. What is the moon energy here? Seven of Swords. Look at that. The Nine of Swords, the Seven of Swords. And I'm seeing Temperance at the bottom. This is a need for healing. This is a need for transmuting energy. That Nine of Swords is, again, the anxiety. And here we have another snake. The Seven of Swords energy can sometimes talk about us being in a place where there's avoiding something, running from something. There's something that's kind of lurking beneath the surface that needs our attention. It could be your subconscious way of trying to tell you there's a need for looking a little bit deeper into something that is bothering you. And it could, like I said, be very well affecting you in the physical, affecting your day-to-day. The Seven of Swords can also talk about us having a lot of scattered thinking, disorganized thoughts, the mind that feels like it's just a little blocked, or even feeling a little ungrounded, you know, and that could be creating a little bit of a mental fog. So let's actually pull one more here. Some of you that look, oh my goodness, look at that. 7, 8, 9 of Swords. So there's something here. The Eight of Swords is a lot of self-imposed limiting beliefs. This is basically what we do to ourselves. We keep ourselves stuck in a mental prison of, you know, thinking negative thoughts. There could be a lot of insecurities. Now, some of you where this relates to like a relationship situation, the Seven of Swords can talk about deception, betrayal, trust issues. If you are someone who is in a new, like a connection right now, and you have trust issues, say from a previous relationship, things that are still haven't healed yet, and those fears are kind of surfacing in your new connection, it could be affecting, right, how you, it's affecting your joy, your happiness here, right? Because again, asking, is this mine? Like, do we need to still be holding on to whatever that might be? And so there could be something, like I said, that's just kind of, it feels like it's kind of draining here with all of this mental energy that's kind of happening on a subconscious level. Now, for those of you where this is more or less about job, career, finances, money, there could be a lot of that, you know, overthinking there. And that being something that is making it difficult for you to kind of balance your energy, make some choices, stay focused on what your goals are, stay committed, dedicated, disciplined. Because for some of you, it could be that this is the goal, you know, King of Pentacles, is to be able to have long-term security, stability, wealth. But that is also something that requires us to be really focused and to really ground our energy. And this is ungrounded here. So if you are someone where you have been betrayed, deceived by a partner or even friends, coworkers, family members, and there's some like lingering trust issues there and worrying about being deceived again. And that is something that's affecting your ability to collaborate with others, or to, at your workplace, or even with a boss, or even with even being able to trust yourself and your own choices, your own decisions. Yeah, so this is a lot of mental, right? The mental obstacles to kind of overcome here. And when we're feeling like this, it is important for us to really work towards grounding. And there's many ways of being able to ground your energy. One of which is, meditating, spending time outdoors, out in nature. I'm sure many of you have gone on like little trips and stuff like that with family or friends, or even by yourself, where you go away for the weekend and, you spend time near a forest or a lake or the mountains or out in the country. And then you kind of come back and you feel refreshed. You feel more calm, more peaceful. Sometimes it helps to kind of just take a little break, because I surely feel like this is something that's trying to get your attention, and so the mind can really create a lot of fears, insecurities, worrying, stressing, and that can completely throw us out of alignment. So I want to get a little bit more here. The Seven of Swords can also be about being strategic, but I feel more so with the context of what is kind of coming through here. It is a lot of the mental things that you're having. Look, oh my goodness, look at this. Five of Swords. The Five of Swords can sometimes talk about, again, this is another card of betrayal here. But the Five of Swords can also talk about a lot of self-sabotaging thoughts, feeling defeated. It could be a lot of negative thinking, a lot of negativity. Whoa, this is all swords, you guys. The Three of Swords is pain, suffering, heartbreak, emotional turmoil. So there's something here that you're needing to heal, for some of you. Something painful, because we do have time to heal here. Page of Swords. Okay. I can't. I'm really like, wow. There's so many swords here. The Page of Swords, for some of you, this could be something, because again, we have fundamentals here. So I'm looking at this as the foundation of you. What makes you, what you're made of. How has your mindset, in this case, I feel like your mindset been shaped by what types of experiences, by what types of traumas, by what types of influences. For some of you with the Page energy, this could be something that's even going back all the way till childhood. But I feel like the Page energy is also about you needing to look deeper, because the Page energy is that of a student, of learning, studying, getting information. So this is more or less a need for, and this is what's going to help you to kind of overcome this, is to look deeper into the pain, look deeper into the negative thoughts, the self-sabotaging thoughts. This could be taking some time to journal, time to say, okay, why do I think this way? Why do I have this worry or this stress kind of coming up? It's basically helping you to kind of get to the root of the issue, especially if you're someone who has a bad habit of kind of taking yourself down the rabbit hole of negative thinking. And it's trying to get to the root of when this thought process, this thought pattern started to happen, you know, because this doesn't just start out like this. It started somewhere. So I feel like this is spirit kind of encouraging you to kind of observe your thoughts. Five of Swords can also talk about, and I know this isn't for all of you, but sometimes the Five of Swords can be referred to as the card of bullying. Okay, now these could be outside influences who do this. It may even be your own thoughts that bully you, that tell you you're not good enough, or just kind of give you those feelings of not being good enough. Now, the Five of Swords can also talk about being a victim to someone else's mistreatment. If you've been someone who had grown up in during an upbringing where your early home life or even a past relationship may have been very toxic, or there was any types of psychological abuse, okay? A person's past actions or words may have really hurt you. Again, I'm getting an energy here of deception or betrayal. Even a person who's been sneaky, who's lied. These can certainly create a lot of those fears of something like that happening again. But it can also be, again, all of those, your own thoughts, right? That might not have anything to do with another person inflicting something upon you, but more so the insecurities that we have within the self. So, I would say observing. Okay, I'm going to ask Spirit here, how can you overcome this? But this, and I totally get this too, because, I do have an anxiety disorder, and it is hard. It's a day-to-day kind of like battle to really work towards stopping yourself when you notice that you're doing it again and again and again, and to redirect those thoughts, but also to look deeper into where those thoughts are coming from, why they're there. Perhaps there is, for some of you, something that is needs your attention, needs to be illuminated. So that you feel more at peace, you feel more at ease. I want to look at this Two of Pentacles energy here. Four of Swords. Four of Swords is meditation, rest, healing. Six of Pentacles. Meditation, stillness, quiet, peace. It's also a card of non-action. And then you have the Six of Pentacles here. Let's see what else. Why is the Two of Pentacles here? Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Some of you could, I don't think this, again, this is all of you, but some of you could be work or dealing with some challenging energy as it relates to your finances. Okay. Maybe trying to get finances in order, and that being something that's creating a lot of worrying, stressing, which could also, for some of you, block the flow of abundance or even block your focus with staying committed to what the goals are. We have the Seven of Pentacles here, which can sometimes talk about delays. So some of you might feel like, wow, I'm putting so much of this time and this energy into working on this thing, whether it's a relationship that you're putting your time and your energy into, or a job. And the Seven of Pentacles energy could sometimes feel like there's delays or things aren't manifesting as quickly as we would like them to. And that being something that is, you know, creating a lot of the fears and the worrying there as well. So some of you, I mean, with the Fool of Riches here, like I said, the citrine is very much about attracting abundance, prosperity. So some of you, this is about money. You know, perhaps trying to make a decision or choice about how to create more wealth and more abundance and worrying about that. But all of this energy right here is more or less where we get stuck, because when we're in this type of energy, we can't function, we can't think clearly, we can't focus, we can't, you know, this might cause us to be more or less procrastinating, or losing the drive to do something, you know. So this card, the Seven of Pentacles, also asks us to be patient, you know, to be patient, because the King of Pentacles energy requires that effort and that commitment and dedication to doing something over time. The Pentacles energy like I said, have to do with the material realm, and this takes more time. So we do have to be patient. I feel like Spirit's wanting you to stop worrying, stop stressing, and pay attention to where your thoughts go, you know, because this can certainly create a block here. There's a need for you to kind of calm the mind and be in a state of receptivity and patience as things kind of come in for you. I'm just kind of curious about this Nine of Swords over here. I want to see what comes out on that side. Why is the Nine of Swords here? The Hierophant. Taurus energy. The Death card in reverse. The Death card in reverse is a resistance to change. Now this could be because the Hierophant does have to do with our beliefs. So some of you are needing to work towards changing your belief systems, perhaps around money, around how you see the self when it comes to your ability to manifest. Some of you could be healing scarcity mindsets, poverty consciousness. Now, for those of you where this has to do with relationship, you know, if you're dealing with a person who, I'm getting two scenarios here with relationships. Some of you are in a committed relationship, or dating someone, or married to someone, And there may have been some trust issues here. It could have been something that you and this partner went through together, or one of you is bringing in old wounds from a previous connection, and there's someone here who has a fear of it happening again. And so in order for you to be able to move forward, say like if this is a new person and you're the one that has the trust issues, there's a need for healing that wound from that previous relationship. There's a need to be open to changing the mindset, and you healing that wound is going to help you to move forward with this person in a healthy way, where you're no longer, because I feel like it's taking away from the present moment of you experiencing joy and happiness with that person. Now, for those of you where you're dating somebody and they've been inconsistent with you, off and on, hot and cold, and you feel like you're putting so much of your time and your energy into that person and wondering if it's ever going to make it to a long-term relationship for you, you might have an important decision to make here about deciding whether or not to continue, because the Seven of Pentacles can also be about reevaluation and reassessment. So I feel like you have to ask yourself if at this point with this person, if things feel like they're not moving forward and progressing in the way that you've want them to, and there has been a considerable amount of time that you've been waiting and feeling anxious, like, is this person ever going to change their beliefs about commitment? There is an important decision for you to make there with that. And there could be a lot of anxiety surrounding that as well. Some of you that could have been in a connection with the person where the person that you're with right now is the person who has hurt you. Some of you might have issues trusting that person again and wondering, is this person going to change? Have they changed their ways? So I can certainly understand why there might be some underlying insecurities about whether or not that person is changed behavior or not. But it's also important for you to work on the healing, because otherwise it's something that you're holding on to and you're bringing with you that could certainly affect your happiness, because I feel like this is the whole process of like letting go and healing. And if you're moving forward with this person after betrayal, you might be at a place where you can forgive them. That doesn't mean that you've forgotten, but, we also have to work on healing so that we're not continuing to live in the past. And so it does take time, to work on grounding yourself, learning to trust again. And trust is something, especially with betrayal, that is going to happen with your partner's consistency, because them apologizing to you isn't going to heal that. It's not going to make you feel better. In the grand scheme of things, your body has learned that it didn't feel safe. And so someone saying something to you after that, betraying you, and that doesn't even necessarily need to be cheating. They could betray you in other ways. So it's going to require consistency, in order for you to say, okay, this person is changing. This person is showing me time and time again that it is okay to trust, so that will come with time. But I feel like you also have to work on changing the belief systems, okay? Because that Death card in reverse is that resistance there. It's the deciding to continue to worry about it, stress about it. Yeah. Okay. So some of you are needing to set boundaries, okay, maybe with a person. set boundaries, and not back down from them, you know? For those of you where this has nothing to do with relationship in it, again, it's more so having to do with your job, your career. The Seven of Wands is more or less going to be also energetic boundaries for you, because all this stuff here, all the swords, you know, can be something that continues to come in and just kind of bother you and throw you out of balance. And so again, we want to observe. We want to observe where the thoughts are coming from, why they're there, and if they are certain things that have, you know, are trying to come in from past. But I have a feeling that a lot of this stuff too is coming up for you to heal, you know? So trying to suppress it again and avoid it and run away from it, it's kind of like coming up for a reason. It's coming up for you to be able to work through. And I do feel like Spirit's saying you do have the power to. The Seven of Wands is about overcoming challenge, adversity. It's about perseverance, pushing through it, you know? So if you're someone who does have a choice to make here and you have all of this, you know, fear-based thinking, we've got to stand our ground and push past it, you know, so that we can focus on, say, like the end goal here for some of you, the King of Pentacles, you know, scared or not. It's like you just got to pump yourself up and just do it, get it done, right? Because the King of Pentacles is about that discipline, that commitment, that organization, and the not giving up. We have a goal. We've got to get ourselves in order, get the priorities in order. For some of you, this might even be coming up with like a routine. You know, if you're someone who thinks, oh, you know, I'm going to start this project today and I need to get this, and this done. And then all of a sudden those thoughts start to come in and you're just like, I guess I'll start tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and it's the same thing again, right? And then again, that goal gets pushed further and further away. So this could really be about, for some of you, getting a little bit more of a routine. Okay. Certainly with the Four of Swords here, this is rest. This is a need for stillness, a need for quiet, a need for calm. Some of you, this could be going on a little vacation, taking a little break to get a little bit of a reset. So you can come back in and be a lot more focused here. All right, so let's ask Spirit here. What can you do to overcome these obstacles? What can Group 1 do to overcome these obstacles? We have celebrate your wins. Okay, so instead of focusing on the negative about how things aren't, you know, happening exactly the way that we would like or as fast as we would like, let's take a pause for a moment to think about the things that are going right. Okay, even the little milestones that you've made with your progress, right? With your job or career or relationship. Focus on those things. Look at how far you've come. Okay? Remind yourself of that. How can you overcome? We have integrate your knowing, okay? So certainly there's things that we've learned from the past, right? As we reflect, as we heal, as we look deeper into these things. This is about integrating the lessons, what we've learned from past mistakes, past failures, past choices, okay? So that we're not repeating the same pattern again. We learn to course correct in a way, or to make, right, different decisions to help with better outcomes in the future. How can you overcome these obstacles? Why? Because we know, like, okay, I have this goal, and then we know that we might be somebody who self-sabotages. Right? And we know that, okay, well, if I go into this self-sabotaging mode again, what happened the last time I did that? I didn't make my goal. I didn't achieve what I wanted to, right? I let fear create stagnancy in my life. I didn't, have the outcome that I wanted. We learned from that experience of what happened to us the last time we did this, or the last time we let something happen, or so we can kind of see where we can fix things, where we can improve things. How can you overcome these obstacles? We have fill your cup with sacred giggles. Okay. So that could be doing things that do bring you joy, that do make you happy. Some of you, this could be going on a little trip here, because I'm noticing again, we get number 21, which is the world card. And sometimes the world card can talk about travel too. So maybe for some of you, this is a little getaway, a little vacation, a little bit of a reset, some time away, even getting out of the house, going for a drive, going for a walk. Doing something to change the energy. We have ambush fear with your ferocious dream. Yeah, and I'm feeling like that's channeling into that Seven of Wands energy. Is looking that fear right in the face and telling it. That could be something, that a little exercise, a little meditation that you do for yourself, as you close your eyes and you imagine whatever that fear is, whatever that old wound is, and you stand there right in front of it. Maybe ask it, like, what does it want to tell you? You could ask it, why are you still here? Why are you still hanging around my mind? What do you need from me? Or, how can, or ask it to go. It's time to let you go. This, facing it head on. Because we have this elephant here too, and I'm imagining it as you are this elephant that is kind of stampeding right through that fear. Pushing right past it. Okay. Let's see, anything else? What can you do to overcome this obstacle? What can you do to overcome this obstacle, group 1? The Ten of Wands, wow. The King of Cups. And the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So the Wheel of Fortune is about going with the flow, but it can also be about cycles, patterns. So it's also about change. We have the Ten of Wands here. The Ten of Wands is being weighed down by energetic weight. It can also be, some of you might be feeling a little like you're doing too much. Okay, the Ten of Wands can sometimes be a card of burnout. A lot on your plate, a lot of responsibilities, putting too much pressure on yourself. It could also be holding on to a lot of old energy. And this is more or less a need for release. Okay, a need for release. Letting go. King of Cups energy is about emotional maturity, emotional balance. It's about learning how to master your emotions. It's about staying calm, grounded. Okay. So, and I'm seeing the Six of Swords energy here at the bottom. So Six of Swords is about moving away from people, situations that create chaotic energy in your life. It's also about you healing the mind, right? Especially for those of you where it is the self-sabotage, the negative thinking, the anxiety. Six of Swords is moving and transitioning to peace, to calm. Some of you, like I said, quite literally, it could be traveling. It could be just a little getaway. You know, take a break, take a rest. If you can, go on a vacation, a holiday. But I feel like healing is really going to help you for some of you, healing. Because all of this, like I said, all of that there with that in that moon energy, all the swords, and not the good ones, with the exception of the Page of Swords, those are all the painful ones. Those are all the ones that really just kind of keep us blocked and stuck. And, you know, so with all of that air energy, that's us being in our head. So it's a need for grounding, you know, going outside, spending time outdoors. Nature is something that is very healing, meditating, dancing, exercising can also be really good for grounding as well. Moving your body, shaking your body to release the energy. Like I said, for some of you, this could be journaling, right? Just kind of putting words to it, allowing yourself to express whatever this is. You know, if you're noticing that it's coming from a certain place or a certain person or a past situation, write a letter. It doesn't mean that you have to give it to that person, but let it out. Okay? Write it down. Write a letter to that person about what your thoughts and your feelings are about that past pain, that past situation. I mean, you could even use that exercise for like a former version of yourself that has a certain limiting belief about not being good enough, or a fear of failure, a fear of success, you know, things of that nature. Okay, so that is all that I have for you, Group 1. I do hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi, Group 2. So those of you that resonate with the Zebra Calcite, this is going to be your reading today. So we're finding out what is your biggest obstacle right now and how can you overcome it. So we're going to look at your tarot first. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the King of Swords. The World. The Six of Cups. Okay. The Three of Cups. And we have the Devil. Okay, let's look at your oracle. We have Free Your Inner Fire. Brown Bearer Spirit with Take Time Out, number 9. We have Get Curious. We have Pig Spirit, number 47, Use Your Mind Wisely. And then we have Create Space here with Raspberry. Okay, so biggest obstacle right now. This kind of feels like there is something here for some of you that you're holding on to from your past. Some of you, it could be a romantic partnership. With the devil energy being present, you know, this is about emotional manipulation, control, some kind of unhealthy attachment that we have to something or someone. Look at the way that this bear is kind of holding on to the world too. The world card is about the completion of a cycle and ending. And the Six of Cups is about nostalgia. It's about the past. So some of you, this could, like I said, it could very well be that you're holding on to a person, a past relationship. There could be perhaps an unwillingness to let go. Some of you could be, if this is like a love relationship situation with a past partner, it could be that you are having a hard time letting go, or having a hard time of accepting the ending. You could be focusing a lot on reconciliation with this person, or wanting to communicate with them, or wanting to hear from them. And it kind of feels like this person could be occupying space in your own mind, in your own feelings and emotions. And this is where Spirit is wanting you to kind of create space energetically for something new. You know, to where you allow yourself to have fun again. Okay. Others of you, this might be something from childhood. This could have something to do with a friend. There may have been some kind of, I don't think it's all of you, but some of you, there may have been some kind of toxic dynamic here with the devil energy. I'm going to pull a little bit more here, but we have your brown bear take time out. And this is also a number 9, which is the hermit energy. The hermit energy is about solitude. It's about introspection, reflection. And so this is about spending some time alone. And I'm seeing the King of Swords energy here. The King of Swords coming in as an obstacle. You know, this is where there is maybe a lack of clarity. There could be clouded judgment. You know, the King of Swords is all about truth and facts and reality. So there could be like not wanting to accept the truth about something, a person, a situation. Some of you might be feeling a little bit ungrounded. Some of you might feel trapped or stuck in some way, because the devil energy can sometimes create, like I said, unhealthy attachment to a person, to a situation. Living in the past, stuck in the past. And I noticed that you have Free Your Inner Fire here, and then you also have Get Curious with Carnelian. And Carnelian is a really good crystal for the sacral chakra. Which is the seat of your creativity. So there's this energy here in both of these about creating something, something new. And you do have create space here. Use your mind wisely. So where are the thoughts going? It makes me feel like, maybe this is a need for being present in the here and now. And opening yourself up, for some of you, to new people, new connections. So I'm going to open this up a little bit more. I want to look at that devil energy, and then let's see what's going on with the world, the devil, the Six of Cups. There's the World here too. Okay, what is this World energy here? Two of Cups. Yeah, some of you, it is a relationship. The Fool. Yes, okay. So the Five of Cups is a card of grief, loss, grief over loss. This is a partnership for some of you. The World is the ending. The Fool is a new beginning. So some of you are holding on to a past person here. Yeah, some of you, I'm getting a romantic partnership. It may even be a friendship, okay, that you're grieving the loss of. Some of you, I feel like this could quite genuinely be there is a loss of a family member here, okay? Somebody important to you, somebody close to you. And this grief process is very painful, very challenging. And so in no way, you know, when we're talking about that kind of grief, I mean, the body, the way that it carries and processes the energy of grief, it doesn't know the difference, right? Of course, they are two different things when somebody literally passes away versus us, you know, going through a breakup. But there's still that feeling of loss there that we experience. And so the body doesn't know the difference. It just knows that it's in pain and there's some type of grief that is here. For those of you where this is the grief over the ending of a relationship or friendship, you know, some of you, like I said, you could be holding on to this person and it really could be keeping you stuck, you know. For those of you where this is the grieving process where there's somebody that you've cared about and loved that has passed away, you know, in no way am I saying that you have to hurry up and be done with it. But it is about you more so. Is the challenge here, I feel like, is going to be dealing with those difficult emotions, you know, being able to overcome them, because you do have the Knight of Pentacles here, which the Knight of Pentacles energy is about slow and steady movement. You know, it's about moving forward, but we're doing so in baby steps. And so I feel like that could be a big struggle for you is committing yourself to taking it one step at a time, regardless if it literally is somebody passing away or you're going through a breakup. But the important thing is that you're moving forward, you know? And this could also be a need to surround yourself, regardless of what your situation is. There's a need for you to surround yourself with people who are loving, people who are supportive and can provide emotional support to you, okay? Whether they are coworkers or friends or family members, because we can often get stuck, right, in a place of pain and suffering and grief and loss. And when we go through that, it might cause us to feel stuck even in other areas of our life where we feel like we can't function, we can't move forward. And so I do feel like Spirit is asking you to take some time to kind of honor the feelings and emotions that are coming up for you. But it's also helping yourself through this process of letting go, and maybe even a place of acceptance for some of you, and creating space for new energies, new beginnings. Because even in this create space card here, we have these two birds that have their two little eggs in this nest. And so there's going to be, right, new little baby birds that are born out of those eggs, but this could be symbolic of you creating something new. Let's look at this devil energy. Ace of Pentacles. Queen of Swords. The devil can also create an illusion. Okay? It can create an illusion. So perhaps are some of you dealing with a person who is stringing you along, or who is emotionally manipulating you into holding on to something that they're telling you is going to be providing something tangible for you, whether that is reconciliation or even, you know, some type of commitment here. And this is where I feel like it's important for you to really use discernment here to see through the illusion. Or even, you know, because it could be another person who's manipulating, but it could also be our own feelings and our own emotions that manipulate us into holding on to something. Some of you, this might even be like a job that you're at, and you know, you could be wanting to have a new beginning and wanting to start at a new career, a new job, and you're having a hard time with letting go, you know, because maybe that job is something that you've worked a long time for, or a specific career field, and you know, it could be hard to make that transition. For some of you, I'm getting an energy here of a child, a sibling. Some of you, this might be a family situation that's going on here, and that's kind of creating a lot of emotional obstacles right now. Some of you could be trying to reconcile with someone who's maybe not wanting to reconcile at this time. And so there could be that need for, you know, letting go, perhaps right now, and continuing to move forward with your own life, which can be a little challenging as well. But I feel like with the King of Swords being present, you know, this is about looking at things clearly. The King of Swords is about logic, clear, rational thinking. For some of you where this is unrelated to, you know, any romantic or, you know, other people, this could more or less have to do with you in terms of creating a new beginning for yourself. Some of this might be stepping outside of your comfort zone, taking a leap of faith, not letting fear hold you back from taking action towards that new beginning, whatever that new beginning means for you, whether it's a new job or a new project or new opportunities that you're opening yourself up to. Okay? I'm definitely feeling this energy of new beginning here for you. Starting fresh, starting new, whatever that means. If it means, you know, opening yourself up to new love, new relationships, or you're opening yourself up to a new job, a new career path. Because you have, again, that fire energy here, the sacral chakra, creativity, passion, creation, birthing something new. You know, maybe this is you flowing along with that new beginning, letting go of the old chapter of your life and starting a new chapter. Some of you, the obstacle might be keeping yourself focused, keeping yourself disciplined, keeping yourself organized. You know, because the Five of Cups can also talk about feelings of disappointment or even discouragement. You know, we might be feeling really discouraged because something in our life isn't really working out the way that we thought it was going to be, or it's not exactly what we want it to be. And so that can be certainly discouraging you from taking any kind of action. So I do feel like it is important for you here with the take time out to just kind of take some time to reflect inwards on what you are creating. This is Spirit wanting you to create space. I want to ask why. Why is it important for you to create space? You know, this could be letting go of people, situations that do not serve, and creating space in your life to let in something new. Why is it important for you to create space? We've got Temperance, the Five of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. Some of you, there's something that you're holding on to here that is not either not reciprocating your energy, or it's not meeting your needs. The Five of Pentacles is lack. So for some of you, it could be a person who's not reciprocating your energy. You know, some of you could be dealing with financial hardship, job loss, debt, or even some type of financial insecurity here, a lack of resources. The Five of Pentacles is scarcity mindset, poverty consciousness, the lack mentality. Now that lack could be a lack of love that we might feel within our life, or a lack of resources, money. And so this is where Spirit is trying to help you to bring in this new beginning, or for you to take advantage of new opportunities that are coming your way, that your intuition is guiding you towards. And so this could certainly be also healing for some of you, stabilizing your own energy so that you can let in new energy. Okay. Let's see. What is the Six of Cups energy here? The Queen of Wands. Wheel of Fortune. And the Three of Wands. Yeah, I feel for many of you, this is Spirit trying to guide you towards a change, towards moving forward, moving on for some of you. This might even be taking the first step, stepping outside of your comfort zone, taking that leap of faith, new beginning here. I mean, the obstacle for some of you could literally be creating a new beginning for yourself, letting go of what is no longer serving you and opening yourself up to new opportunities and just going for it, not letting fear hold you back. Doing what makes you happy. Okay. All right, so let's ask Spirit here. How can you overcome these obstacles? How can you overcome these obstacles? We have success and transformation. Number 13, which is the Death card, which is transformation, change, endings, letting go. We have cut the cords of doubt for some of you. Limitations inspire innovations. So, I mean, this could be taking some time to think about how you're limiting yourself, how you're holding yourself back. Learning to trust yourself. Cutting the cords of doubt reminds me of that devil energy here. You know, even for those of you where this is letting go of a past romantic partner, and you could, you know, feeling like, am I ever going to love again? Am I ever going to find love again? You know, there's a need for you to open yourself up here to receive. I feel like is the important thing here. Whatever that might be, a new job, money, new career, new love in your life, moving to a new location. You know, it's more or less about you taking the steps towards creating the dream that you want, the vision that you hold for your future, the vision that you have for whatever happiness means to you. and about taking the steps towards allowing that in, putting yourself in a position where you are open to receive. And that means letting go of the past. How can you overcome fearless expression? Yeah. And for some of you, this could be, working on your confidence, working on your self-esteem, not being afraid to pursue your passion in life, and don't let past discouragements or disappointments hold you back from your power, from your focus. We have you are light. You are light. And I feel like this could certainly be filtering through any negative thoughts, right? That kind of keep you in that dark place of doubt and fear and insecurity and lack and scarcity and feelings of unworthiness and, feeling like things are not going to come together for you or they're not going to happen for you. Let's see what else. How can you overcome these obstacles? The Knight of Cups. This is about following your heart. It's also about you following your intuition and opening yourself up to receive. For some of you, it is love, new love. Wheel of Fortune. This is being open to change. Be open to change. Flowing. Page of Swords and the Moon. Some of you, there could be a need for you to look deeper into your fears and to illuminate them, to even look deeper into suppressed feelings, emotions. Yeah, we have the Hermit here at the bottom. The Hermit, number 9. Again, there's a need for spending some time alone, spending some time in quiet reflection, healing, going into hermit mode a little bit. Some time for you, time to rest, time to think about your next steps. Those of you that are wanting to kind of like change into like a whole new career, Page of Swords energy could be studying, learning, investigating, gathering information, researching, getting more details, getting more information, right? Especially if we feel confused or uncertain or there's some unknowns there. This is where if us doing some research might help to provide a little bit more clarity, right? On maybe what that new beginning looks like for you. Like, let's just say you're contemplating moving, but you're just like, well, I don't know where I want to move. Page of Swords. This is about, okay, let's look at these 3 places right now about moving there. Let's look up how much is the cost of living. Let's look up, if all the comforts that we want with that new place are around. Let's look at the job market. Let's see, how, if there's public transportation, if there's a lot of traffic, or, if it's a heavily congested area. Like, do the research and look at all those things. Maybe for some of you, it's school, right? Where you want to start saying, okay, well, what classes can I take? Or how much is it going to cost? But I feel for some of you, I'm getting a strong energy here of opening yourself up to new love for some of you. Letting the past go. Don't let past disappointments with past partnerships and past connections, keep you from not allowing yourself to receive new love into your life. That could be something there for some of you. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here for you, group 2. I do hope this reading was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Hi, group 3. So those of you that resonate with the flower agate, this is going to be your reading today. So we're finding out what is your biggest obstacle right now and how can you overcome it. So let's pull your tarot first. We have the Page of Wands, the Two of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, the Strength card, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Five of Wands. Okay. There's some type of choice here. The Two of Wands. This is like being at a crossroads. And the Five of Wands is about conflict. This could be inner conflict. About choosing which path, which direction. You have the Page of Wands energy here, which is about feeling excitement, enthusiasm. It's about travel, exploring, discovery, adventure. This could be pursuing some type of passion or even traveling, relocating. Some of you might be at a crossroads with your job or even with school. Some of you might even be contemplating leaving a job. This decision here might very well be something that does require a lot of bravery, a lot of courage, confidence in yourself. Your Nine of Pentacles here is about financial security, financial independence. You know, some of you could be wanting to make a transition from working for other people into being self-made, working your own business. So this could be this inner conflict that's happening here. I mean, some of you might even be at a job where there's a lot of jealousy and envy and just kind of like an environment that's not so great. Some of you could be wanting to be off by yourself, single, independent, maybe even getting out of a living situation. Okay, let's keep going. We have feel in order to know. Feel in order to know. Number 61, it says give with gratitude and grace. Pay attention. There's an eye right in the middle of that leaf. Pay attention. The vulture spirit with nothing is wasted. We got 61 and 63 here. And also fall apart. Feel in order to know. Pay attention. And fall apart. Let's pull some more tarot here. Let's clarify this a little bit. I think I want to ask Spirit here, pay attention to what? I mean, it may be something that you're feeling, because I'm noticing that there's the body here and there's a brain. And sometimes when we're thinking about something, we can get into a space where it does create a lot of that conflict, because our mind is telling us something when we're feeling one way, and then our mind is kind of going in the opposite direction. So this is where Spirit is saying you need to feel in order to know. This is feeling what your body's telling you, what your intuition is telling you. What are you feeling? There's a need for you to pay attention. Also, this little, I don't even know what kind of animal it is, but it's got a little dandelion here. And dandelions You know, I'm sure like as a kid you probably picked them up and then just kind of blew all the little, I don't even know what you call them, the little things off the flower and make a wish. So perhaps there's something that you're dreaming about, thinking about, envisioning. And I'm kind of feeling the way that this bird is kind of perched on that rock, like it already knows. It's just watching and waiting. Like it knows what it's supposed to be doing. Okay, so what are you needing to pay attention to? Pay attention to what? The Lovers. The Lovers is about making a choice, a decision. But this is a choice of the heart. What does your heart tell you? Feel into your heart space and pay attention to what your heart is helping you to kind of make this decision. Pay attention to what? Seven of Pentacles. This is reevaluating something, reassessing what you're putting your time and your energy into. Are you happy with the way things are coming along? With whatever that might be. There might be a little bit of frustration here. There might be some setbacks or delays. If some of you have experienced, what does this pay attention here for? Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is about flowing. It's about change. So some of you, your intuition could be drawing you towards making some type of really important change in your life. I feel like it's major here with the Wheel of Fortune. So the universe could be guiding you towards some type of big change here. And that change might be letting go of something, right? And I feel like with nothing is wasted, this is where Spirit is saying, like, don't feel like you've wasted your time. Don't feel like you've wasted your time, because there's something to be learned with every experience that we have. Okay, what does this fall apart here? Page of Cups. The Empress. And the Death card. The Death card is endings. Also change, letting go. But we have this element of the Empress here, which is birthing something new, creating something new. Maybe some of you are letting go of a relationship, a marriage. Some of you, it might even be a new love situation, a crush. And if that situation isn't really panning out in the way that you've wanted to, you know, if you're finding that you and the other person are just not aligned, or you're not getting along, or there's been a lot of fighting, arguing, there's maybe discovering a lack of compatibility. For some of you, this could be where the universe is trying to guide you with letting go, having the courage to let go, having the courage to walk away, carrying yourself with grace as you move forward. What is this Two of Wands here? Because this looks like the universe is kind of guiding you towards a new path here. And maybe there's resistance there. Maybe there's resistance with flowing. Why is the Two of Wands here? Queen of Swords. The Ace of Swords. And the Chariot. Yeah, you're meant to move forward here. There's a need for action, decisive action. There's a need for you to listen to what your truth is telling you. To see something clearly from a place of logic. Maybe not letting your feelings and your emotions get in the way, cloud your judgment. Some of you, this might be about moving, relocating. Being guided in a certain direction, perhaps, a certain place in the world. I'm getting a message here. This is very specific. This is for a person who's just literally just moved not that long ago. And you might be finding that the place that you moved to isn't quite it. Okay? And I feel like Spirit's kind of coming through with some message here, letting you know that this time that you've spent at this place that you're at right now hasn't been wasted. There is good that's coming from it. Maybe it's, you know, getting some perspective, or there's always something, you know, that comes out of that. But it's also not being afraid of, you know, course correcting if necessary. What is this Five of Wands here? Nine of Cups. The Emperor. Oh boy. Okay. I am getting a message here for somebody who's married or who has been in a long-term relationship, and you might be feeling that you're no longer happy, okay? This could be a couple who's going through separation, divorce, and maybe the hard part of this, the obstacle, is letting go. You know, maybe that means moving forward with divorce. If you're somebody who, if you're married or have been, you know, in a long-term relationship with somebody and you're trying to, and thinking about getting out, leaving, part of the obstacle could also be about your financial independence. Being more financially independent. Being more self-sufficient, you know, that could be the challenge here. But I feel like really Spirit is kind of wanting to encourage you, for those of you that does resonate, that to really see yourself as this Empress here and having the potential to create new for yourself. So if you're feeling guided towards that change, making that big transition in your life, you know, especially like if, for those of you that have been with a person for like a long time, you're like, wow, I've been married to this person for like 25 years and, you know, we have kids together, we've got fur babies together, and, you know, I've been with this person for such a long time, but you're really feeling like your needs are not being met, or, you know, you're no longer compatible. You know, sometimes people, we change, we grow. Sometimes we outgrow relationships. And so that could be struggling with inner conflict that you feel, where maybe your emotional needs are no longer being met. And you're really feeling guilty for maybe, I don't know. I feel like some of you could be struggling with, like, am I being selfish? Am I only thinking about myself? You know, am I not thinking about the kids, or am I not thinking about this or that? And kind of talking yourself out of it, you know, having a hard time with just ending it and just kind of starting on your new path, your new journey. And again, that might be something for somebody that requires a lot of courage, a lot of bravery to stay focused on what you feel and what you know within inside of yourself that needs to happen, that needs to change, and to have the willpower to move forward with this idea or with this decision that you have, whether it's leaving a job, a relationship, the place that you live. I feel like this is like an important step for you here. What is this feeling in order to know? The Ace, look at that. The Ace of Pentacles. You're being pushed towards this new beginning here. New opportunities. Eight of Cups. That's walking away. Letting go of something that's no longer bringing fulfillment for you. Ten of Swords is a painful ending for some of you. You know, some of you might be feeling like this is the end. This is the end of this relationship. This is the end of this friendship. This is the end of this job. This is the end of this career. And you feel it. So again, maybe the obstacle is letting go, walking away, making the change, going with the flow of what you feel inside. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. The World is at the bottom. That's an ending. A completion of a cycle. Something's done. Something is done. Maybe it's accepting the ending. Starting a new chapter here. What is the Strength card here for? The Knight of Pentacles, Four of Swords, and the Six of Wands. So for some of you, this is going to be taking steps towards getting things in order for yourself with this transition. Staying focused, staying calm, staying grounded, clear-headed, clear-minded, right? When you're making this change. Some of you, there might be procrastination. I'm seeing the Eight of Swords here at the bottom and the Seven of Swords. There might be a lot of negative thinking, self-sabotaging thoughts that you have, like the whole I can't do this by myself, or I can't do that, I'm going to fail. I'm not going to be able to make it. And your Empress energy is like, yes, you can. Your Emperor is here as well. The Seven of Swords is a need for being strategic about something, coming up with a plan and sticking to it. Don't let these negative thoughts deceive you into not taking the action that you feel that the universe is kind of guiding you towards. So again, the obstacle is flowing along with it, right? Because we can certainly get in our own way. Okay, so let's ask Spirit here. How can you overcome this obstacle? How can you overcome this obstacle, Group 3? Celebrate your wins, okay? Focus and envision yourself being successful with this. Don't focus on all the things that could go wrong. Focus on your ability to move through this stage with ease. How can you overcome this? Envision success. We have Creator with water here. This is flowing. flowing, just like the Wheel of Fortune. We have magic happens when you most expect it. So I feel like this is also changing the mindset as well. Like trust that the universe is supporting you in this, because with the Wheel of Fortune here, the Wheel of Fortune is divine doing this. Okay? So trust that your guidance, your intuition is steering you in the right direction. That this change needs to happen. It's for your highest good. Cut the cords of doubt. Okay. We have raw intention. And also, what's your honest truth? Right? Being completely honest with ourselves. Not letting doubt get in the way. Not letting fear get in the way. This is thinking in that Queen of Swords energy. With raw intention. Don't let it be littered with the negativity. Okay. What else? How can you overcome this obstacle? Trust your intuition. Four of Pentacles. The Nine of Wands. You know, for some of you, this could be really stepping outside of your comfort zone. Some of you, in order to make this happen, this is saving money for some of you. Saving money. Again, the Two of Swords here. If we're feeling stuck, we're feeling confused, conflicted, the Two of Swords is a need for balancing the mind. So in order for us to do that, we have to connect into our intuition, meaning we're practicing stillness, quiet, silencing the mind, and feeling, being honest with ourselves, okay? How can you overcome? Eight of Cups. I mean, Eight of Cups is walking away. It's also letting go of maybe even bad habits. Like if we have a bad habit of talking ourselves out of something or procrastinating, right? That could also be something that we work towards letting go of. This could also be to help you here to minimize stress, maybe reducing stress in your life or things that are stressors so that you're able to come to your own realization about what you feel and know within inside of yourself. Okay. All right. So that is all that I have for you, Group 3. I do hope this is helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading.